everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I'm playing along with a sketch challenge over on For the Love of Pretty Paper, who are a scrapbooking group. Here's the sketch basically I'm rotating mine 180 degrees to just mix things up a bit really. I've made a layout quite similar to this one recently, so I just thought I'd mix it up slightly and turn it upside down so that I have my photo in a different place to what the original layout that I did make a few weeks ago. So yeah, I've got a bit of a Harry Potter theme going on today. I've got photos from when my daughter and I went to see the Cursed Child stage show in London. So I've gone for the Echo Park collections, Witches and Wizards. I think I've got a mix of 1 and 2. I've chosen this Slytherin paper, the green paper that represents Slytherin House for the background. I've gone for a dark black background cardstock. But I chose the Slytherin style paper because actually we're mostly Gryffindors in my house, and we usually I wouldn't normally use the Slytherin papers, not my favourite. Anyone who's been to see the stage show or knows the story of the Cursed Child will know that most of it is based around Slytherin House. So therefore, it felt right to use it. So, you know, sometimes things have meaning, don't they, rather than just because they look pretty. I wouldn't say this paper is pretty, but it definitely serves the purpose and gives the right feel to the layout that I wanted to achieve. I switched up the sketch a little bit. I've got my photos bottom right instead of top left, and they are 2 portrait photos rather than a single, say, 6x4, and they're smaller rather than the big one. They're 3x4s and there's 2 of them, so together they kind of make up a 6x4. Plus I have that lovely Bramble Fox frame that I wanted to use as well. So I have, I'm just going to make sure all of my elements are in place. So I've got my 2 big pieces of paper there, distressed the edges and stuck those onto the black background, just roughing them up a little bit more as well. My 2 photos and the frame can go in place now as well. And then I want to get my title in place. Oh, I've also backed the frame, the Bramble Fox frame there. I could have left it with the green paper showing through, but I wanted to bring in another pattern paper, and I thought that was a really good way of doing so. So I backfilled it with it's like a creamy coloured paper with stars on. I backfilled that with that, and that just brought another pattern onto the page. I've added my 2 photos, and then I've got my title in place straight away. I do often find that sometimes I get to the end of a layout and I think, oh no, my title, and it's like an afterthought, and then it's sometimes hard to fit in. So I thought I would just go for it. I've also got limited titles for this collection. I could have made up my own and used stickers, but I wanted to use something from the collection if I could, and magical worked really well because it was a magical day. Yes, I've got that in place, and I have also, I'm conscious that I have put that the title at the bottom of the photo instead of the top. It's with my sketch rotated 180 degrees, really my title should have been on top, but it just worked better at the bottom. And also, sketches are a starting point, they are not law, so therefore we can mix things up a bit, change things around to suit us. So that's what I've done. The train at the top there, if anyone who's seen the stage show will know that the train also features quite a lot in The Cursed Child. So therefore I wanted to use that train embellishment as part of the big cluster at the top there. Yes, I mean, I'd say that my embellishment cluster ends up being a lot bigger than the one on the sketch, but I'm happy with that because I really wanted to get the train in because, as I say, it was quite a major part of the film. Lots of things happened on the train, so it was a good thing to include, and just definitely felt right to have it there. I've really got a real nod to the book, or not the book, but the stage show itself in the planning of this layout. To be honest, I didn't really plan it. I just sat down and made it, and I pulled out the things that worked, and say the Slytherin paper and the train, and then you'll see they're going to add some footprints in a minute, and they're from that as well. I've got a broomstick, I've got spell books. I love the themed Witches and Wizards collection. It's got loads of good stuff on it. Just anything from there works really well. And stars, of course, I wanted stars, and I want magic, so I want sequins and gems and things like that as well, so I will add those as well. Okay, so I'm just carrying on working on the little cluster, big cluster at the top there. I've got the train, I've got a trunk, some potions bottles, and I've got Hedwig the owl above. Now, Hedwig doesn't really feature in the film, the play, but she's so iconic, isn't she, of Harry Potter, that I thought I would include her. She's like swooping along above the train. So I'm adding some lovely Bramble Fox stars. I've got some open stars and some closed stars in different colours, but loving how all that's looking. So I'm just adding Hedwig, just going to raise her wings on foam pads so that she looks like she's flying. Now this little piece here, the little banner sticker, I wasn't sure what to do with it. I wasn't sure whether I should put it at the top, but then I moved it down to the middle section there, and I actually quite liked the kind of diagonal line that it created from the train to the little banner, and then down to the photos, kind of get that diagonal line going across the layout. So I was pretty happy with how that looks, kind of linked the two areas together, which was good. So now I'm just going to add my little footprints. I cut these out for a mini book that I made last year, and I have tons left over. So I'm just arranging them in place. They are from, if anyone doesn't know, they're from the Marauders Map. The Marauders Map does feature in the stage show as well, so it was quite nice to include those. I don't have that many left now, so I was trying to match up the left feet and the right feet and the big ones and the little ones and make it all look right, but I think I just about managed it. Now that big long stretch of the footprints on the left hand side is not represented on the sketch at all, but it's just another reason to say that sketches are starting points and you can add to them or take away from them as you see fit. Sketches generally tend to be fairly plain. There's not loads and loads and loads of detail on them, so they're open to interpretation, and that's what I love about using a sketch, because you can really bring it to life and make it your own. And then I've added some lightning bolts on the right hand side too. I also cut those on my silhouette for when I made the mini album last year, so I've just got a few of those left over. Just adding some magic now, some sequins. I've also added some gemstones as well, so just all around. I wanted the layout to sparkle with like magic dust, and so I'm just getting those stuck in place using a paper piercing tool and my glossy accents. There we go, that's all coming together quite nicely. Got a little Bramble Fox heart there as well, I think. Yeah, it's all kind of coming together well. I've written my journaling on the left hand side. It's not super obvious because I've used a really fine tip pen and I've written directly onto pattern paper, but you can read it, so I'm happy with that. I'm just going to finish off with a few splatters of white paint over the main embellishment areas. I've used big drops from the Shaker Direct, and then I've also used the paintbrush to get some smaller splatters as well. So there we go, that is my layout. Yeah, all complete, and I say I really hope that you enjoy using these sketches and that they inspire you and they give you a starting point to jump off of, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the sketch. And yeah, that was Nikki Rowland for the love of pretty paper, playing along with the sketch challenge.